Thank you for plugging into this Family Life News podcast, streaming issues-driven, family-focused news. Welcome to another edition of Hometown Heroes on Family Life. I'm your host, Bill Price. Our guest this week, Dave Monroe from Tonawanda, New York. He's with the group Brothers Without Borders, a ministry aimed at propping up first responders in more ways than one.
Brothers Without Borders is a group that started about 8 years ago, and we're a group that not only services our local emergency first responders here, but we also go down to the Dominican Republic a couple times a year to help share the gospel and also do emergency training. We're a group that goes to local firehouses down there and also is an area to just be a refuge for first responders that struggle with various things going on up here. So we're here to support responders and whatever they need here at home too.
Why did this ministry begin?
About 8 years ago, our co-founders, Brandon Vizzi and Michael Parker, they were sitting at a local firehouse that they volunteer at, and they were coming back after a call, and they looked around, and they're both Christians, and they said to each other, you know, we live in a pretty dark place as far as the emergency services, and they were trying to figure out how they can share Christ with them and learn how to just love on the people that they worked with and they served alongside. And you know, it goes without saying. I mean, we try to help people, but we're really terrible at trying to help ourselves. They decided that the Brothers Without Borders will basically be to help them, and the heart of Brothers Without Borders is to support and be a safe place where they can come and talk about calls that they've been on and experience.
Share with us some of the things that you do, and you mentioned some of the places you go.
Well, in the DR, we've traveled to 12 fire departments down there, and also police departments as well. We've started a police ministry down there. And not only do we travel to police and fire departments down in the Dominican Republic, but we also travel to schools and orphanages and provide them fire training. And I want you to picture this. Picture a local firehouse here in the USA, and your department really has nothing but bucket brigades, and it's just volunteers that just want to show up and help. Well, that's what the Dominican Republic was 8 years ago, believe it or not. Some departments down there do not have very much. So we went down there, and we really didn't have an agenda. We just wanted to go down there and just share love of Christ with them. They opened up their doors with open arms, and they said, hey, help us. And we shared the gospel with them, and it was really Jesus Christ. Once he came into the local departments down there, he changed their total outlook on things.
You're listening to Hometown Heroes on Family Life. Our guest this week, Dave Monroe from Tonawanda, New York. And Dave, why are first responders, in your opinion, great messengers for the gospel of Christ?
Well, I'm a full-time paramedic in the Buffalo area, and you get to see some pretty amazing things. I love my job, but we also see some pretty horrifying things too. But I see some parallels with Jesus Christ and what he does with us. And, you know, people are pretty candid in the back of an ambulance, and they're looking to me for help and try to figure out what's going on in their lives when, you know, all the chaos happens or, you know, something horrific happens. And, you know, it's just sometimes medicine isn't exactly what can help them. Sometimes people just need to talk and they need to vent. And that's where you know, as far as a first responder comes into play, sometimes we just need to listen to them and offer them a helping hand and you know, lending ear. And I feel like that is exactly as, you know, first responders and Christian first responders, that we can show Jesus to our patients and just listen to them, but also show them the love of Christ. But not only down there, you know, is the gospel being shared, but also up here, every trip that we go down, there's always probably one or two guys that go down and get baptized. We've had the pleasure of seeing people that come down with us, just their lives being changed on mission trips with us. So I think we've probably baptized about 4 or 5 guys down there, and it's truly amazing just to see their lives changed. And then when they come back here, we get the chance to disciple them and work with them and you know, walk with them in their Christian walk. How are you different because of Brothers Without Borders? I have a group of brothers that I can count on, that I know have my back, and that is something that is truly special. And not only are they just my brothers in arms as far as, you know, working in emergency services, but they're also my brothers in Christ. So I know they always have my back, and they're there for me.
That's Dave Monroe from Tonawanda, New York. He's with Brothers Without Borders. This week's Hometown Hero. Join us next week as we search for your home, your town, your hero. It's Hometown Heroes on Family Life.